Apache Spark course itself. Before I go ahead and start, I'll introduce myself first, and I'll expect if you can give a brief introduction about yourself, basically your IT background, and the key purpose for coming in and joining a Hadoop Big Data course, uh, and all. So to start with, I am Kamal, in the industry for around 16 years, mostly a distributed domain person. In my current role, I'm a lead Hadoop architect here in a European MNC, but my career spans across mostly in Java, distributed computing, cloud, Oracle SOA, and for last 5 to 6 years, mostly into data analytics and open source implementations of it, uh, primarily focused around Hadoop and many of its ecosystem projects.
Okay.
So yeah, Giacomo.
Yep.
So I'm sorry, I didn't got the name. It's showing Jayakumar. Is that the name?
Yeah, it's no, I'm Suganti. It's my husband name. In his tab, it is already configured in his name.
Okay, just a minute.
I'm Suganti. Actually, I have 10 years experience in Java J2E.
Okay.
Actually, last 2 years I didn't work. Actually, I have a baby, so I resigned the job.
Okay.
So now again I'm planning to go for job. So for that I want to learn something new before joining.
Awesome. Okay, so you already happen to have a Java background, and I think a little bit of Linux exposure also must have been already there, right?
Yeah, yes.
So that goes hand in hand on Java J2 platforms when you do that. Okay,
Yes.
so that's good itself, because in our course, like you already, okay, so the intent is that after you have gone through this Hadoop big data exposure, you will look for opportunities in these domains, right?
Yes.
Okay, okay, okay. That's good itself, because we try to cover, as you will see, that the Hadoop and the Spark part of it, and both of it has in some or other way uh, uh, some relation with Java in terms of its architecture or the choice of implementation model that it tries to choose for. So
Mm-hmm.
I hope the screen is visible. We can quickly
Yes.
go through the course and then individually address any specific questions. So as mentioned, right, that we'll start our course with Hadoop. Uh, Although the basic needed is a little bit of Java knowledge and Linux, but as and when it comes, I do try to help students with that particular part. But if you are familiar with Java and a little bit of Linux exposure, you will find it quite easy itself. Just to know that
Okay.
Hadoop is written entirely in Java. So
Okay.
a lot of places you will see Java references, JVM, GC collection, memory tuning. So whatever we used to do in Java from a memory tuning perspective, optimization, logging,
Mm-hmm.
almost all of that is inherited directly into Hadoop stack. So
Okay.
that's one good thing which we'll be putting in, as well as any time you need to develop any custom component, because Hadoop is an open source and a lot of people add it depending upon individual contribution. So
Mm-hmm.
there also any customization that needs to be done, people try to do it with the open implementation. So we'll start with a high level introduction, and then we'll jump directly to the installation of it, because I firmly believe in just doing the labs and then discussing these scenarios out. So we'll be using the Apache distribution of Hadoop. So that's something which we'll be putting in. I'll be sharing a virtual machine on which we will download Hadoop and also its ecosystem. So as I mentioned, right, that download and configure Hadoop, all that. Going deep
Okay.
into Hadoop architecture, because Hadoop, if you have already gone through, is basically a combination of the different Java processes.
Mm-hmm.
As it says here, right, that you have name node, data node, secondary name node, job tracker, task tracker. So typically these 5-6 processes, whenever they are up and running, they constitute a Hadoop cluster. So how to configure them, how to monitor these processes, and how to utilize it for the different capabilities which Hadoop tries to offer. And in short, there are two main capabilities which it is used at corporate scale, and which it is what mainly constitute of. One is HDFS, HDFS, which is the file system part of it, because any big data analytics has to make sure that you are able to store data in a reliable form. So Hadoop, rather than relying on traditional orthodox old technologies like SAN and other thing, they have discovered their own storage mechanism. HDFS happens to be that answer, Hadoop Distributed File System, which is basically a wrapper around existing Linux or Windows file systems. So it's in this case we'll be installing the Hadoop shells and doing labs related to how to move data into Hadoop cluster, run it, move out of it, change replication factors, as well as play around with many other configurations and see its overall impact in terms of storage and the overall size on the cluster. So that's what it has mentioned in here. The first aspect will be Hadoop Distributed File System, the storage aspect. Then comes the another important part of it, which is the MapReduce programming. I think that's something which is more commonly available in the market itself. So what we'll do here is that we'll be going and understanding the MapReduce programming model. Again, it's not something specific to Java. MapReduce programming model came from Google way back in 2004. And it's simply the divide and conquer algorithms that we use, that if you have a bigger problem, divide it into small chunks, solve individual pieces, and then combine the results. So on the same principle itself, the MapReduce programming is based out. So we'll try to understand the APIs, how to configure the jobs, how to run them parallelly, as well as also again tune up many of its parameters. Continuing on that effort itself will be Hadoop streaming. So once we are done with HDFS MapReduce installation, we'll see what is Hadoop streaming, why is it helpful, and how to configure it and run it in the Hadoop cluster. Then we'll be going to look into some Hadoop ecosystems. So again, there are many components in Hadoop umbrella, but some of them are almost always needed. One such example is Apache Scoop. So we will see what is the significance of Scoop. We will install it. We'll do a live implementation, and we'll try to see how people can actually benefit and have a connection between database and Hadoop cluster. So this is your answer to traditional warehousing, because a lot of the traditional data warehousing systems like Informatica, DataStage, MicroStrategy, they all depend on some or other sort of database to store the data. And if you are in a transition project or a migration project, you are moving from the old RDBMS data warehouse type of architecture into a Hadoop one, components like Scoop are of tremendous value. So that is what we try to implement it. Then we have Apache Hive. This is again a very, very popular component, and once again related to the data analytics too, because most of the people in data analytics are from SQL and those type of background. So we will see that how you can use Apache Hive for writing your logic in the form of SQL queries, which in turn will get converted into MapReduce jobs in the entire programming model around it. So these are some very important components in Hadoop as well as its whole ecosystem, which you will see almost in every project. Again, to discuss, there are hundreds of components, and there is no point covering all of them in one course, because none of them are used in one project. All of them they are not used. Depending upon different project to project specific requirement, you might as well jump into it. But Scoop, Hive, these happen to be almost always there, apart from the main Hadoop that is putting in. And I've also added up the most latest that is happening in that domain, the Spark API. So this is something which you will definitely see if you're doing the research on net and all.
Okay.
In the Spark part. So we'll see that some of the drawbacks of Hadoop in terms of performance and why there is a need for Spark. Then some clusters details like Yarn and Mesos. Architecture of Spark, because Spark is basically just like, since you come from Java background, it's like Spring framework. In
Okay.
Spring you have the Spring code, right?
Hadoop, I thought Spark is part of Hadoop. The Hadoop is different, Spark is different.
Spark is an extension to MapReduce programming. They are two different components, although they are used almost synonymously itself, right? Hadoop is the bigger, I'll say, brother.
Okay.
Spark is an alternative to Hadoop's MapReduce. So Hadoop has a way to do MapReduce, right? Hadoop's MapReduce, just we saw. It has its own MapReduce, which is again, and it has given other alternatives to it in Hive in terms of execution. But architecture-wise, Hive also uses the same architecture which Hadoop MapReduce uses. Spark is a different approach. So Spark also tries to solve the analytics problem, and architecturally also it is different.
Okay.
So performance reasons wise Spark comes in, but yes, all the usage of it will be, both of them will always be there. Like whenever you see any implementation of Spark, it will be there that Hadoop is already there in place, because Hadoop file system is still there, right? So there is no alternative to Hadoop file system. Spark only replaces the MapReduce nature.
Okay.
But you still need a file system to store terabytes and petabytes of data. Spark doesn't have a component to store data. So in that context itself, it will be there, and as it says that you will be exposed to Scala. That is what Spark is written with. Very popular functional language, so we'll have some exposure to it, but we'll just focus on the core aspect of Spark, which is RDD, the resilient distributed data sets. We'll try to understand how RDDs are created from existing files in HDFS and all, as well as by a new data creation. What is their internal data structure? How do we apply map, reduce, and these type of functions which are called as transformations and actions? So it's a very interesting topic, the whole architecture of RDD, and how to apply transformations and functions to achieve basically the same thing which Java based Hadoop MapReduce used to achieve in a much faster way. We'll also see some other, because Spark is also supporting Python. So we'll just have a few labs on PySpark, the Python specific support for it and all. So that's what I mentioned here, creating RDD accumulator broadcast. It's an interesting topic. We have started seeing it and now getting acknowledged and used in live projects. So that's why something which we have used in. We'll then move on, and in Spark itself we will see the data frames, very popular API. It's basically the Hive answer or Hive alternative. What Hadoop has with Hive, Spark has with data frames. And we will see a collaboration of both. That Hive gives a SQL angle to your data analytics. So same way, Spark data frame gives a SQL angle to your data analytics when you are doing through Hive. So we'll try to understand that what is Spark SQL, what is the data frame API, how do you convert existing data into a data frame, and then apply your search queries and other things. Okay, lastly, we'll just touch on the machine learning part of it. This is something which is not directly important to people who are working in actual project, but as a data scientist or more as a senior role, if you are looking for architect and consulting, you need to know this capability, because MLive is very rich in terms of lot of the industry algorithms which are already there available in a package. So if and when the need comes to do any such analysis, maybe alternate some mean, median, mode, and those type of things, you don't need to write that logic because those library is already there. It's like similar to your math library in Java. So it's good to know as and when it's uses. So we'll just try to do some labs around that one.
Okay.
And put that thing in place. So yes, this is what we intend to do, and all of these sessions which we are doing will be recorded and uploaded in G Drive.
Okay.
As well as the material also will be shared so that you can use it for your offline purposes itself.
Yeah, sure. Thank you.
So in fact, This is what I have to focus with. Just let me know if there is any other expectation around it. The only good thing with you is that you are already aware about Java. So because that's a challenge, and I don't want to give a hypothetical picture that without Java you can excel very good in Hadoop. You always can find alternatives, but knowing Java has a very strong impact and advantage in Hadoop.
Oh, okay.
So that's what I mentioned it out here, that we'll be having it all the complete virtual machine. So I'll be using Oracle virtual machine. So that's something which I'll share with you. And that is, it's a 4.5 GB virtual machine. So have you earlier worked on virtual machines on this like VMware or virtual Oracle VirtualBox?
No.
Okay, it's a fairly simple technology, the whole virtualization concept, right? That earlier if you have to use Linux, you have to install it on your system. But now they
Okay.
have come up with this virtual machine concept that you don't have to install Linux. You just install any of these virtual machine players. You create an image and then you run it on any machine, wherever
Okay.
that player is. So in my case,
Any
I have this.
any special machine configuration is required?
I think
Like
4 GB laptop, at least 3 to 4 GB laptop is the only thing that is needed.
okay.
So do you happen to that or you need to procure it?
Yeah, I'll have that laptop.
Okay. Yes. So as you can see right now, so this is something Oracle VirtualBox Manager. It's a freely available software. You can
Okay.
just search Oracle VirtualBox, download and install it. It's a exe. After that,
Okay.
I will be sharing with you this machine. If you're seeing, right, these are different virtual machines. So this one is a 4.5 GB machine. So what I do is I share it via G Drive. You will download it and you just simply do file, import appliance, open
Okay.
appliance, and go to the place where that particular virtual machine is downloaded, the 4. You can see here, right? I'll come here, yeah. So this one, this Hadoop project payment gateway is something which I will share with you. It's a 4.5 GB machine.
Okay.
So you
So
just, it's
first
the ODF
I
file.
had so virtual that manager box I had to download, or after
Yes,
that I
yeah.
have to import this.
Absolutely, absolutely, yes. VirtualBox Manager is nothing but a player. It's like
Okay.
a movie file, right? So you have a movie player and a movie file. So
Okay.
movie player is freely available. I will share the movie file or the Oracle VirtualBox, and then you can just play it around with it. So this
Okay.
is known for that particular purpose. Now what I'll do is I'll start this virtual machine just to showcase, because this is something which is a very popular mechanism in the industry, that rather than you installing all the operating system and then trying to decide which one is the mother operating system and boot between it, right? It was not very good. So
Okay.
it's virtual box as well as the VMware player, both are equally good options. We use that. So what we have inside this virtual machine is Linux. So I have already installed the Linux OS, as well as database also is there, because we will be needing some sort of a database to do our labs and actually give you a real-time project type of experience. So
Okay.
Oracle is there, since Oracle is the most dominant one in the industry, but you can also install here MySQL and do the same. Because for scoop and other things, right, you will be needing some of those things. So
Okay.
we try to do that. So Java Oracle is installed, and for doing some development, I'll just show you. We have Eclipse also there, and Firefox is there. So the bare minimum, we start from ground zero. So it doesn't assume that you already have some pre-built configuration with software installed, because that kills the whole knowledge part, right? That how do you install it, and you always
Yeah,
struggle. So
yeah,
at
that's
least if
good.
you go from scratch in real time, you will be seeing or getting these type of scenarios only, right? So
Yeah.
that's what we try to put in here in place. Okay, so you can see it that in this one, I have Eclipse, because as I said, there are some Java components which we will be interfacing with. An application Oracle 11G is installed on this. If I go to terminal, okay, sudo root. We have Java version also, everything. So you have this Java 1.7. And Firefox is there because all the materials which I'll be sharing with you via G Drive, you can log in. You will have to download it inside this virtual machine, right? So you will log in using Firefox, and this Firefox will automatically pick up your internet settings, so you don't have to do anything extra. You have to simply import this virtual machine and start. That's
Okay.
it. So, and yeah, so inside this Firefox, you can always log in again into any account, download, and that's what we'll do. We'll log in to Hadoop site, download Hadoop, and then we'll do the configuration and other things. Okay, so any specific question or anything which you think should be covered, which we are not covering in? Because I know it's a quite a break itself, but the good advantage that you have is that you already know Java, you're familiar with Linux. So nothing, I'll say nothing drastically has changed in last 2 years. It's just that Hadoop is one more application around Java, and you can
Okay.
actually utilize it as an extension into your project career itself. You don't have to go through a lot of initial brush up and all.
Yeah, sure.
Any specific thing, any question or the timeline that you are looking for to complete this project, and which time zone you are in, which will be comfortable for our sessions?
I'm in EST. EST.
Okay, so
The
Eastern
same
time.
timings will be work out for me.
Okay, in fact, that's what I will prefer because I think it's it's early. 6 here in the morning, 6:30 here in the morning itself. So I think that's something works well here as well. Because I trying to take a daily 1 hour session, because unnecessary gaps in between just kills the whole enthusiasm. So if you can
Okay.
manage the smaller sessions, 40-45 minutes, and on weekends longer sessions, at least 2 hours. That will be on weekends, it will be your morning timings itself, so that it will be easy. Or if you want, we can stick to this timing all 7 days. One optional day you can take off any day, just let me know. Saturday, Sunday, if you are too much occupied, you can just
I think for me it's the same timings is fine,
okay,
because I
okay.
have baby. Because this time
No, I
she
can
will sleep.
understand. Yeah, that's why I asked it. True, true,
Yeah.
true, true. So we can stick to it, no problem. I
Yeah.
typically wake up
So
early,
you
so
are
we.
taking from India?
Yes, I moved back here, right? I
Oh,
think I'm not sure if this I put in that I was working out of Dallas here there.
okay.
Last 6 months back, I decided to move here for some time.
Okay, okay.
And yeah, that is it. So you guys haven't worked in the Mid East and the Texas and that region, right? Or have you been there and
Uh,
worked in the Dallas?
no, my husband worked over there in
Okay.
Houston. Yes.
Okay, because the quite a good amount of cities there, right? Whole Houston, Austin, San
Yeah.
Antonio, that whole belt.
Yeah,
I was
India.
mostly in
But
Dallas and
here it
Austin.
is. But this Boston area, it's fully,
Okay,
yeah,
to
no,
even
yeah,
that one.
still it's a winter kind of, not even summer started.
No, in that way, we really loved Austin and Dallas. Pretty much like that Indian climate itself.
Yes.
We don't have the extremes, and work opportunity wise also, right? You have 4 big cities there. So I was mostly around Austin and Dallas itself, but yes, we have a lot of other ones in San Antonio and Houston also. A lot of healthcare and energy related software projects are there, being the headquarters of many of these companies. So it was good in there.
Yeah.
Okay, so just let me know when we will be able to start, or how soon you want to start. Is there anything specific you want to focus on? I have tried to include the most inclusive one which is used in the industry, because currently I
Okay.
am with a European MNC and we are into geographical data processing, much like the way Google Maps and the whole navigation system works, right? These days people are
Mm-hmm.
working on smart driving or driverless car. Uber and all is focusing on it, right? So
Okay.
when you do that, you have to have a lot of data related to geography, roads, traffic, everything is there, then only, and very fast processing is needed so that you can make decisions, right? It's like a
Yeah.
human driving a car. So
Mm-hmm.
that whole initiative, like automated driving, is where we are working in, and we use these technologies in first-hand experience. So that is something which we try to include, that how do you use Hadoop and then Spark, make a ecosystem out of it, uh, and then use it on a commercial scale. So as I said, that this one I will share it via G Drive, as well as for each of the modules also, right? We already have the training materials, which is again uploaded, so you will be getting for each of them the PDF, the labs, and I'll be doing parallelly itself, so you will see, and any help that is needed, we'll just troubleshoot using this one, GoToMeeting, or you can also install TeamViewer also. That also works.
Which one? TeamViewer.
TeamViewer, yes, TeamViewer is a
Okay.
remote FTP application. It's
Mm-hmm.
just that it's relatively fast for you to give me the access, right, and we do fast troubleshooting.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, so just confirm the timing and the date, and we should be good to start with, because I have fortunately this availability, because after 1 hour 7:30 is already booked for one
Okay.
live consulting that we are doing for one of our SFO based clients, and in India evening time also we have some
Yeah,
sessions
we
going.
can start if you have time today itself or tomorrow also fine.
Okay, so I
Pick a
think
day.
let's start from tomorrow, because I think when that time Mr. Sai can confirm,
Mm-hmm.
and there might be one more person who will also be joining in. She happens to take a demo few days back,
Okay.
so we will plan, and she has the same expectation. So I'll say that okay, let's go ahead and do that, and she also is an experienced person itself, so that way it will be helpful.
Okay.
So, but as I say, that we'll be going through Hadoop installation, then Spark,
Mm-hmm.
and then the individual details on these technologies part itself.
Okay.
Okay, so let me
So I
confirm
will
with Mr. Sai.
also
Yeah,
go through the things. Then if anything I need extra, I will let you know in the next class.
absolutely. That will be really appreciated itself. And I have already shared this course content. Hopefully, you
Yeah.
will get it.
Yeah. Today afternoon I have received it.
Okay, awesome. Good, 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 good. So yes, then let's start from tomorrow,
Okay.
and keep me updated. Any specific needs that you have, or anything extra that you want me to cover, we'll just try to incorporate that as well.
Yeah. Sure. It's a daily 1 hour or 2 hour.
No, daily 1 hour, around 40-45 minutes I take. I don't want to club, but on weekends we'll have longer sessions.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, so mark daily as 1 hour, and then on weekends around close to at this point. If we have regular session, we don't need to exhaust ourselves, but again, that is more of your comfort level. You can let us know. If
Yeah.
2 hours
Sure.
is too much, we can just stick to 1 hour daily. That also takes
Okay.
around a month time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Sure.
Well, thank you so much for an interaction, and hopefully we should start from tomorrow. So keep us updated, and we'll start our sessions. Thank you,
Yeah.
and have a good
Sure.
night.
Thank you. Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you.
Have a
Bye
nice
bye.
day. Bye.
You too. Bye bye.
Bye.